the first thing I want to say, and then I want the mayor and any of the councilors that want to speak about this speak. The thing that I wanted to make clear, this came from my office getting just gobs of emails constantly from Keizer folks saying, you know, what about the grocery stores in Keizer? And I, you know, answered them all and logged them all away as well. I don't really know, because at the time we were busy with the legislative session with all that was going on there. And then after the session, perhaps somebody's here tonight that started the Facebook page that's been really popular. I think there's 700-800 people on there. And it's specifically geared towards Winco coming to Keizer, but it's turned into a discussion of really any grocery stores. People were talking about anything. And so I got on that and really got interested in this because, number one, I'm a Keizerite. And, you know, I remember when there was 4, 3, 2, and 1 grocery store in town. My wife and I were the kind of people that we liked to run to Albertsons for these 4 things, and we ran to Roth's for those 7 things, and we ran to Safeway for those 3 things, and we liked going to all of them. And I really missed that. But what I wanted to make perfectly clear to you is, and I know that your mayor has already said this, the councilors have already said this in many hearings that they've had at City Council, is that there's nothing we can do to force a grocery store to come here. I mean, so I want to make sure everybody understands that. And myself, as a less government person anyway, that's the last thing I would want, is to go force somebody to do something they don't want to do. I just don't, that's not the way I operate. But what I wanted to do was have a forum, a real old-fashioned city town hall meeting where people could say, well, doggone it, I'm frustrated, and just let it out. I'm listening. These guys are listening. They want to hear what you have to say. Maybe they've already heard it. I don't know, but I know that they want to hear what you have to say. And I just wanted this to be an hour. We're not going to go more than an hour. We're going to go to 8 o'clock and get you out of here because you have more important things to do, like what's on tonight. Is Survivor on tonight? No, Survivor's on. There's something on tonight, I'm sure. But way more important things to do in your family life than be with us here. But I really appreciate you being here. I want to give everybody the opportunity to say something, so I would only ask, I'm not going to use a timekeeper or anything like that, but try to keep it brief and to the point. And if somebody's already said it's kind of what you were going to say, you know, we don't need to hear it 1,000 times, but it's important that you get to say what you want to say, and that's why I'm here. I want to hear what you have to say. But again, I want to make it very clear, I can't make somebody come here. If it were up to me, there would be 18 grocery stores here, okay? Because I like competition. That's going to make the prices go down. It's going to make the service get better. That's the way I like things. But we are where we are. So what I want to do is take a moment first and let the mayor address this topic, and then any of you guys just we'll go right down the row, and then we'll go right to you. And we were going to have a handheld mic, but we decided not to do that. So I'll just make sure you stand up nice and loud and speak. So Mayor Clark, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
And thank you, Representative Post, for being here tonight. I'm so glad that he takes time because, you know, like all of us, we're very busy. We're trying to maintain our own family time. But he gives a lot of time to the community, has to work outside of session, and is getting ready for this little thing called short session coming up next week. So I'm just glad you guys all came tonight. Just a couple of things. Yes, I have been on Facebook a little bit about this issue, and many of you here and probably at home have been on Facebook about this issue. So just a couple of things. One is that the city of Keizer is open for business. The properties that are large enough for a grocery store are properly zoned. Our planning department's ready to go. The first person who gets the money and the plans together to say we're going to open a grocery store here is going to make money. And the ones that have closed are not because of something that we as a community or a city have done. There's been a lot of factors individually that have gone into that. Do we have some empty spaces in our shopping centers? Yes, we do. Do we have successful shopping centers? Yes, we do. Keizer Village and Keizer Town Center are both full, or pretty full, most of the time. Why? They're well managed, they have businesses that we like to go to, and the businesses there provide quality services and goods. So we have a lot of room here for the kinds of businesses that we like to go to and patronize and have be a part of our community. Schoolhouse Square, as most of you probably know by now, has sold. That's really, really good news for us. It's the opportunity then for the new owner to fill in those spaces with successful businesses. We have not received anything that would indicate that it would be a grocery store, and as a matter of fact, we've gotten indications that it very likely will not be a grocery store in that center. Will there be new businesses? Absolutely. Will it fill up? I certainly hope so. Will we shop there? I intend to. So I think that's going to be another one that's going to move forward. So the other space that is available on River Road is Creekside. And there's a couple of things going on. The space that is occupied by, or was occupied by Albertson/Hagens is not, it is going to auction. So I don't know if anybody's going to be moving forward with that, but we'll find out in February on where that property ends up. But it's part of a lot of legal stuff going on between the two sides, and that is between two private entities, two private businesses on how they're going to settle. Whenever that property becomes available, we're ready. We want to see that space filled. We want it to be successful, and I know that the success is part of the formula for Keizer. So just want to kind of lay the groundwork there. I'm thrilled to listen to what you have to say tonight. Definitely open for suggestions, ideas, inspiration, criticism, as long as it's like, okay, here's maybe some ideas for moving forward that we haven't thought of. I always take notes, and I'll be getting out my little notepad here and taking down your ideas so we can move forward. Thank you so much.
Why don't we just work down it? If you have something you want to say.
Let me just real quick. I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Bill, and I'll be brief. I want to thank Bill for doing this, and thanks to City Council, and thank you for showing up. If any big community has interest, this community does. I know that. I really appreciate you taking your time to be here. I'll be brief, and sometime I have a question for John Morgan later on down the road. So, thank you very much.
John Morgan probably should have been sitting up here.
You think? No, he's happy sitting down.
Yes, I am.
The only thing I knew what to do was to make a call to the only grocery store owner that I know, Michael Ross. So I talked to him today, and I've heard from people that Ross is never coming back here, and that's not necessarily true. They just have one project kind of going on now, and they're a small chain, can only handle one at a time. But Michael lives here in Keizer now, so he very much has an interest of coming back. You know, if things are right when they get this other project done. He didn't share what or where that was with me, but I'm sure we'll find out in the near future.
Yeah, just a couple things on that, because when you talk about time being right, and the mayor mentioned something being, that a store would have to be profitable before it would come back. And when we went through the Area C discussions a few years back, learned a lot about grocery stores, and this is all market driven, it's all numbers driven. It's, can the business be profitable? And they do a ton of research before deciding where to open a new store. It is not because there's a vacancy and they can't, they could open a place there. It's got to make good business sense for them. And we want to let them know that we're going to shop there. And this is very personal for me too. My wife and I, once a month, go out to Winco, and we do the majority of our shopping there. And then we go to Safeway once a week for the short-term stuff. So I do not want to drive to South Salem to do my grocery shopping. I'd love to do it here in town. Like Bill said, even if I could, I wouldn't want to kind of conscript a company to come to town, because that's not the way I believe. But if we can make it happen, we can. We'd love to. One of the things that's been tossed around a lot is the idea of tax incentives for a business to come here, and it's really not an issue. It's really not an option. We don't have business tax. It's not like we can waive that for anybody, and we can't do an enterprise zone for this type of business. So we'd love to hear new ideas, but some of them that have been floated just aren't, something that's legally able to do. So.
I think I'm Amy Ryan, and I'm a Keizer girl. Grew up here with all the grocery stores, like a lot of us. And there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I think that's one of the most important things about this town hall is that we all get the same information, the same logistics, and we're on the same page, because there's a lot of conversations. I myself got in trouble for a conversation on Facebook when I got fired up about Safeway being the only store and the prices. I got my hands slapped. But the reality is, I'm going to stand by what I said, and that is, we have to have affordable groceries. I love Ross. I love Trader Joe's. There's a lot of
It's really brief. So I'm Kim Freeman. I'm also on City Council, no name tag, but it's good. And I'm probably like Bill, I'm the least politician here, so I just want to give you guys the opportunity to, so you're all going to get one now, everyone's name tag. I want to give you the opportunity because you've taken time away to come and speak to us, and I appreciate that. I would hope that at some point you guys will all come visit us at City Council too, because it's kind of bare in the audience, and it's really nice to look out and just see a lot of citizens here that this is really near and dear to your heart. I'm like everyone here, you have a family to feed and you need affordable groceries. I think that is something that we all strive for, and we drive all over town to get groceries that, you know, to feed our family that are reasonable and things like that. So we are here to hear you, and I appreciate all of you being here and a lot of friendly, familiar faces. So Bill, and to everyone, please, you know, let us hear your comments. Not that we can change something, but we're here to listen, and we're always here as a council, and Bill as our representative, and others to listen to our constituents, because that's our role. So thank you.
All right, so I want to open it up to you guys.